And we do welcome you back. Golf Talk of the Carolinas, John Hockaday alongside Doug Thompson and Daniel Naveau, Roy Costin, our director for tonight's show. And in the booth, we have Executive Director of the Carolinas Golf Association, Jack Nance, with us tonight. And Jack, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doug. Congrats on another year of great golf, and we're tickled to partner with you all this year.
Well, we're excited about it, and of course, I do want to let our audience know that we've had some discussions since our last season ended, and we're going to be a little bit more involved with the Carolinas Golf Association this year, and providing some videos of our interviews with the CGA, and we're just so excited to be a part of what you guys do and getting this information to the golfers in the Carolinas.
Well, it's a great partnership. We would not have gone out and done this on our own with the AV and the booth, and you own the radio station, so it gives us a great vehicle to come in here and tell our story alongside you. Of course, you're a long-time PGA professional, as Doug is, and it's just perfect. You get it. You understand. We love talking golf, and that's what we're going to do for the next 20-some weeks.
Well, that's what we're here for, and of course, let's talk some golf. I know you had a chance to watch a lot of the Masters this weekend. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, it just never seems to disappoint.
No, it doesn't.
I know years from now we'll look at Dustin Johnson's 20 under, but he won it, and it was great. But we all love to see the springtime Masters as we have in the past, and it kind of made up for everything this year. And these young guys and how far they hit it, and Olazabal. I mean, this guy made the cut.
Yeah,
I noticed that after on Saturday's round. But the defining moments. Masters and Augusta always brings out these moments, and I think for that it was 15th when Matsuyama hooked it. But those guys with the gut check, and they come back and they hang in there. What a great bogey to make it, because I think of what I would do and getting that ball, and then of course what Shoffley did on 16. Again, two pivotal holes many times.
Well, there were some big shots that determined that outcome right toward the end, and of course the shot at 16 by Shoffley, one of those. But again, like you alluded to, I thought a great six made by Matsuyama at 15 after where he was with all that pressure on him, because he did have the weight of the Western world on him, and what a great job he did coming through that and performing, and doing what he had to do to win.
Yeah, it just and I'm shocked that was the first Asian victory of any major, not only the Masters. I think the first Asian to ever win a major, if I read that correctly, for sure the Masters. And he just handled himself well. And I heard y'all alluding to the Japanese commentators.
Oh, yeah.
And you couldn't help but just embrace their excitement. And when he knocked it in the water, when he wins, and I really thought that was pretty good of CBS to show that little blurb a few times during the show.
That was neat. Let's talk a little bit about the Carolinas Golf Association. I guess I've started getting in touch with you last year about the time COVID hit, and you guys had some significant changes that you went through as far as the way you administer tournaments, the way where you work and when you work, and all that. Tell us a little bit about the CGA and how you made it through COVID.
Our story is not unlike many others. It's dealing with something that we never saw coming. And a year ago, we think about how we were getting into it, and many of us at this time were leaving work, going to work home remotely, and now we're luckily at a stage where I think we're getting out of it. We're still remote as of April of this year. We'll be going back and working on a transition plan. But at that time, I had no idea how golf was going to play out. None of us did.
I was scared of
me
what
too.
was ahead. I know you had to
I had
be.
a conversation about our clubs and our members going to be able to pay, for our handicapping fees, and will people play in tournaments, because they got so much on their mind and they're trying to get through life. And all of a sudden, I don't know what month it happened, but the door opened, and for a change, and a good change, golf got the really good end of the stick. It's an outdoor sport. It was just played right into our hands, and I think the golf community responded well. And luckily for us in North Carolina and South Carolina, our governors were on board, and we had some people there behind the scenes working on that, our friends and alliances to make that happen. So kudos to our two governors to let golf continue to be played.
Well, and I think that that COVID, golf being an outdoor activity, helped it in itself, but also so many other activities were canceled.
Right, yeah.
And so we had more time to play golf. And I told Doug at dinner tonight before we came up to do the show that of all the 30 years that I was in golf, I never could come up with anything in marketing as good as what COVID did to golf. I mean, it really did change the industry, and every course that I know of had a great year in 2020.
Yeah, you know, all these businesses and Fortune 500 companies and all of us kind of come up with a game plan in case something goes awry, and you kind of have a second plan, B plan, C plan. And I don't think we all had this plan.
No.
And you know, we were going to take it as it came and deal with it, but we were kind of getting in the bunker and saying golf might be in big trouble. And luckily, now we are this year. And I really think golf is going to continue to be bullish in 2021 because, you know, the travel industry, the hospitality industry are all going to be thriving because people want to get out and get back to living.
They're ready. They're ready to do that. There's no question about it. And you know, during that time, the CGA really didn't miss that many events.
No, we got creative. You know, we work in North and South Carolina, so when we have an event, and for the most part, you got one in North Carolina Championship and sometimes a South Carolina Championship, and then a Carolinas. So we cover both states, and we like to have the Carolinas event. So we really have to plan for both states and gear up for it. But we had some North Carolina events that we scrapped, and we switched that event to later in the year and just made them Carolinas events. So anything statewide in North or South Carolina, we just dovetailed into a Carolinas event. So we're able to play a certain championship, like the Carolinas Mid-Am coming up at Columbia Country Club in South Carolina this week. We didn't do a North Carolina Mid-Am, I don't think, or one of the seniors, but we dovetailed that into a Carolinas event later on in the year. So we made it happen. Normally, John, we're running 350 tournaments a year. And I don't know how many we ran last year, probably around 200s. But at the end of the year, we pushed it and made it happen, and thank goodness.
Well, and of course now we're in 2021. We're still dealing with COVID certainly, but things are loosening up a little bit, and a few of the restrictions going away. Let's talk a little bit about what's going on right now with the Carolinas Golf Association. Any recent or upcoming events?
Yeah, we're going full steam. I mean, it's amazing. I had to bring a sheet of paper to remind me all the stuff going on, but we just finished our Tar Heel Cup, where the North Carolina pros play the amateurs, and the amateurs lost by a point. So good for you guys, you PGA member you. But I will remind you, we had 4 straight wins in a row. So
I knew that.
We just wanted to rub that in. You know, you read about Paul Simpson, Don Detweiler winning their 10th CGA 4-ball of some sort, whether it's a regular senior or super senior, and those guys are fantastic.
Paul's up around 40.
41 now.
41 wins.
Yeah,
okay.
And I got a little trivia question I'm going to give to you in a minute.
Okay.
Think about this. Who leads the women's all-time list for that?
In the Carolinas?
The Carolinas Golf Association.
Okay. All right.
And then another one might be who's the second leading men point championship winner in the Carolinas, and I'll tell you in just a few minutes.
Okay.
Harold Varner's been great to us. We had our HV3 invitation, which got shortened at Gaston Country Club and Kramer Mountain. Carolinas Mid-Am's coming up at the Columbia Country Club, and the Carolina Senior 4-ball, which I'm playing in with my buddy Greg Norris, and many of our friends are going to play.
The Clinton Connection.
The Clinton Connection, but great at the Country Club of Orangeburg, which is just a fantastic redone golf course. Ellis Maple, but an owner got in there and just put a lot of money to it. It's a wonderful, wonderful place. So we got it going on.
Well, it certainly sounds like it. One thing I wanted to ask you about, I guess last year we heard the announcement from the USGA that they were moving into the Sand Hills, or moving, I guess, part of what they do into the Sand Hills, and we had the announcement about all the upcoming U.S. Opens. I guess 5 in the next 26 years or whatever it was. Let's talk a little bit about the impact of the USGA coming to the Sand Hills. Does this affect you guys, and how will you work with them?
Well, it can't help but help us. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
Because we work very close with them, the qualifiers, the internships, handicapping, the rules of golf. We're kind of their arm here in the Carolinas, as many associations are across the country. But for them to be planning in our backyard is just awesome. You know, we've really gotten into the museum aspect and the artifacts with our Hall of History, which unfortunately has been closed for a year. But we hope to dovetail some things with their museum, which is coming down. And it'll be great for kids or adults for that matter to go watch the testing facility and see how that plays out. But I know the state of North Carolina has done some number crunching, and the numbers are in the billions by the time you get 30 years from now on what the U.S. Open alone is going to do. And they've also guaranteed other USGA championships coming to North Carolina. But I think they were going to do that anyway, because they love coming to the Carolinas. And it's going to bring new people down here. And as you know, there's already a group of 17 people working with Rez Jones and Company that already live down here and work there in the village of Pinehurst.
We talked with Janine Driscoll, I think, last year, and she's awful excited.
One reason Janine's excited, she's getting to stay here.
Yes.
In Southern Pines, and she has a place here anyway, so I was glad for her to be staying down here in Southern Pines, Pinehurst, when they do move the office down here. But that's unprecedented. Any place in the whole world, or at least the country, they could have gone, and boom, they come to Pinehurst.
Well, I understand why.
Yeah, we do.
Because we live here, we understand how privileged we are, and what the golf courses and things that we have here. And this is a great addition. I'm excited about it, and certainly excited about all the U.S. Opens that will be coming. And I'm sure down the road we'll start to see some women's and USGA mid-ams and those type things as well.
Yeah, I'm sometimes privy where they call me and talk about sites they're looking at. So there's some irons in the fire right now that they won't disappoint. We have so many great courses in the Carolinas. They just recently announced the 4-balls at Kiowa, so that's going to be really neat to go down there to South Carolina. I think 24, 25, something like that.
Well, Jack, I wanted to let our listeners know, with the partnership that we have now, we've got some Carolinas Golf Association stuff we want to give away.
Swag is what they call it. I brought this, and we're going to give a few things away tonight. This is a really neat tumbler that we give away as tee prizes, top on it and everything. And we have our towels, which everybody loves because you can't have enough golf towels. And we'll be giving some of these away. And what I'd like to do, Doug, is maybe see if your listeners will email you. You can give them an email address, and we'll do a random selection and give hats and towels and stuff away throughout the year.
We do have some hats, a visor, and we're going to be giving those away. I do want to give you our email address. It's very easy, golftalkofthecarolinas@gmail.com. golftalkofthecarolinas@gmail.com. We'd love for you to send us an email tonight. Give us your name, and of course we'll have your email, but we will put your name into the drawing, and we're going to give away some stuff from the Carolinas Golf Association. So send us those emails. Again, that's golftalkofthecarolinas@gmail.com.
All right.
And
answers to the question.
Yeah.
The second leading championship winner of men in the Carolinas, and it's more old school than new school. A hint. From High Point, North Carolina.
Harvey. It's got to be a Harvey?
No, because Bill Harvey?
Yeah.
No, not Bill.
Was he Greens?
He was in there, but not the second one.
Okay.
It's Dale Morey.
That is
Dale
old
Morey,
school. I watched him play back in the late 60s, believe it or not, at Quail Ridge.
Yeah.
They had a little match out there one day, and yes.
He was a tough competitor. And leading ladies is nearby, Miss Patty Moore.
Yep. That would have been
she's
been
still
the guest there.
Hitting her ball and doing great work here in the Carolinas. So we've got a lot of great history of golfers, men and women, boys and girls, young and old, lefty and righty, throughout the entire Carolinas.
Well, and quite a few in the Carolinas that are on the PGA and LPGAs and senior tours. And matter of fact, we will have Webb Simpson from the Carolinas, played at Broughton High School, if you remember that.
I sure do. Webb played in a lot of our stuff, and he kind of started looking at Walker Cup stuff as he got older.
Yep.
But he won our North Carolina North Carolina 4-ball with Brandon Todd.
Who went
when they were in high school.
Yep. Well, Brendan went to Green Hope, and I think Webb was at Broughton. They played against each other in high school.
Yep. So. And they won in high school. They won it. Now look at them playing on tour together. So we have a lot of neat stories we'll be talking about. Good. Looking forward to Webb next Monday night.
Absolutely. Well, Jack, I want to thank you for dropping by the booth tonight and chatting with us. And we're going to do our best to give away some of your merchandise tonight. And look forward to the entire year. This is going to be a lot of fun, and look forward to some great guests as we're starting to get lined up for our show. We'll be on every Monday night, 7 to 9 live on the radio, and, of course, we'll be on all the way through the first Monday in September. But, Jack, thanks again.
Thanks a lot. If anybody wants to look and joining and playing in all of our events, go to carolinasgolf.org and just click on how to join and follow your nose.
There you go. All right, we're going to take a short break. You're listening to Golf Talk of the Carolinas. We'll be right back.